For this lesson, we're going to talk about using proportions to solve percent problems. So a percent is a ratio where 100 represents the total number in the group. So we can solve percent problems using the same way that we use to solve ratio problems. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, let's say 30% of the muffins have nuts. Okay, if 21 muffins have nuts, how many muffins are there? Or how many muffins are there in total? Okay, so let's go ahead and do a ratio box. So we're gonna do nuts, no nuts, and total. Okay, so our total is 100. We know that 21 muffins have nuts. Oh, actually, we'll do this as the percent and this is the count. So we said 30% have nuts. So 100 minus 30 is 70. So 70% have no nuts. And so we know that did I do this wrong? Okay, this one is actually 21 muffins have no nuts. So 21. So this is nuts and this is total. Right? So now we can do a ratio. So we're going to always use the row where we have both numbers in our problem. And so we are looking for how many muffins total, right? So we're going to also use this row. So our ratio line is going to be here. So we just rewrite this as 70 over 100 equals 21 over t. And then we go ahead and cross multiply, right? Or get rid of the fractions on the bottom. So we can 100 times t times 100. So our 100 will cancel. T's will cancel on this side. So we will have 70t, it's the same as cross multiply, equals 2100. So now we want the t by itself. So to undo multiplication, 70 times t, we are going to divide by 70. Or you could also do the reciprocal, 70 multiplied by that. So we'll have t by itself. 2100 divided by 70 is 30. So there would be 30 muffins total. That would be 30. If we were looking for how many muffins had nuts, then we would have used these four and did our ratio lines here. But since we're looking for the total, we use that row. Okay. So now let's do another example. So let's say last week Grayson did 40% of his homework. If there were 480 pages of homework, how many pages did Grayson do? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this as a ratio problem. So we know that percents for the total, or for ratios, the total is going to be 100. So let's go ahead and do a table, and let's do percent and actual count. And we're going to do completed homework, so homework that was done and homework that was not done in total. So we have 100. Grayson did 40%, so 100 minus 40 is 60% was not done. Oh, if there were 480 pages of homework not done, let's do that here. 480 pages of homework that weren't done, how many pages did he do? So we are definitely using this one because we know the not done. But now we're not looking for how many total pages of homework there were. We are looking for how many pages of homework was done, right? So we are going to use these ratios. I'll leave it red. So we're going to do 40 over 60 equals how many done over 480. So we will also cross multiply here, and we'll have 40 times 480, 60 times D, 19,200 divided by 60 to get rid of that, and have the D by itself. Do it on both sides to balance the equation. So that's going to give us that D equals 320 pages. So Grayson did 320 pages of homework. We didn't do 480. We could find the total by adding those two. We could also, if the question was how many pages total, 60 over 100 equals 480 over t, and then we would solve for t. But that was our second example. So now let's do another one. So let's say, let's say 261 of 300 people like video games. It's a lot, right? So let's find how many people do not like video games. People. And let's say, according to data, about 13% of people don't like video games. Excuse me. So do the statistics reflect the data? Okay, so now let's go ahead and draw a ratio box. So we'll do percent and actual count. And our percent is 100. We have 300. And we have like video games, like, don't like. So, so we have 261. Oh, that's in the wrong spot. 261 people like. So 300 minus 261 is 39 people don't like video games. So now we're looking for, well, now we're looking for this one, right? Oh, wait. So let's look for the percent. How many people don't like video games as a percent? Okay, because otherwise it would just be 39 for how many, by adding and subtracting. So we are going to use this line. We're looking for this one. So our ratio is going to be here. So we're going to have don't like over 100 equals 39 over 300, right? So then we'll have 300, I'm just going to do D for don't like, equals 39 times 100, 39 divided by 300 to get the D by itself. So it's going to be 13%. So that would go here. So now the second question was about 13. The data shows 13% of people don't like video games. And so do the stats reflect the data? And so this 13% is the same as this. So it does reflect the data. Okay, so let's do one more example. Let's say after a hard 40 question test, Grayson learned that he only got 6 wrong. Okay, so what percent of the questions did Grayson get correct? Okay, so 40 divided by 10 is 4, so Grayson got a little more than 1/10 wrong. Okay, so the answer is going to be a little less than 90% right. So let's do a ratio box to get the answer. Okay, so we know that the total, well here, actual count percent, the total number of questions was 40. And so these were the wrong, these were correct. He got 6 wrong. So 40 minus 6 is 34, right? Let me rewrite that really quick. 34, right? Our percents out of 100. There's total. So we are going to use this line. Oh, let me go ahead and do CNW. We're going to use this line if we want to know how many Grayson got correct, the percentage. So we're looking for this, so we're also going to use this line. So our ratio line is going to be, well, I guess you could draw it here technically. It's going to be right there. So we're going to have C over 100 equals 34 over 40. And let's cross multiply. 40C equals 3400. Oops, I forgot the C. Divide by 40 to get C by itself. So C is going to equal 85%. Correct. Alright, if we wanted to know the percent of incorrect, we would have done our ratio lines here and did wrong over 100 equals 6 over 40. I'm just going to go ahead and do it 40, W equals 600, divide by 40 to get W by itself, right? And then we'll do 600 divided by 40. Uh-oh, my calculator doesn't want to work. Should be 15, because that's what's left. 600, oops, divided by 40 is 15, so the wrong ones was 15%. As you can see, you could have also did 100 minus that 85% to give you the 15%. So these are ways that you can do ratios to solve percentage problems. That's all for this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions.